When it comes to iconic third-person shooters, the Gears of War franchise immediately leaps to mind. Gears 5 was well received upon release thanks to its stellar campaign and breathtaking graphics. The Gears franchise as a whole has nailed the high-octane, adrenaline-pumping feeling of running from cover to cover, flanking, shooting, and sometimes chainsawing your enemies. What better way to evolve the series than to veer its gameplay into turn-based tactics territory? That's where the franchise is headed, thanks to spin-off title Gears Tactics.
Sure. Why not?
Sure, Gears Tactics might not be what you'd expect as a longtime Gears of War fan. Nonetheless, it's shaping up to be an engaging take on the genre. But maybe you're not quite sold and want a little bit more information about what this game actually is. In that case, we've got you covered. From the release date and pre-order bonuses to the story and new cast of characters, here's what you need to know about the next Gears installment. Gears of War developer The Coalition did not share the release date for Gears Tactics until the 2019 Game Awards, which aired in mid-December of that year. A trailer offered a good look at what you can expect from the game, culminating with the information you've all been waiting for. Gears Tactics launches on April 28, 2020. The game will come out at a pretty busy time, considering the other big releases surrounding it. Final Fantasy VII Remake and the Resident Evil 3 Remake both arrive in early April, offering fans of both franchises a fresh dose of nostalgia. The Trials of Mana Remake comes out 4 days before Gears Tactics as well. Beyond that, more than a handful of games are aiming for a spring 2020 release date, including Minecraft Dungeons, Wasteland 3, and the highly anticipated The Last of Us Part 2. Gears Tactics is sure to have an audience in this space since tactical turn-based games are few and far between. Microsoft had a big night during the Game Awards in 2019. Aside from revealing what its next-gen console will look like, the Gears Tactics trailer sheds some much-needed light on this upcoming game. In it, you learn the title takes place before Marcus Phoenix's time. The war with the Locust is in its prime, and you follow a squad of Gears as they aim to stop a new villain named Ukon. Ukon has previously appeared in the Gears of War comics, but this is his first appearance in a video game.
Summon the beast! Crush them!
You'll see familiar enemies, like the hulking Brumok or the terrifying Corpser, both of whom seem to play boss roles in the campaign. Overall, you can expect dozens of hours of story in Gears Tactics, if the trailer is to be believed. Furthermore, you can customize the characters on your squad, tweaking their weapons and armor with a variety of options. If you're familiar with turn-based tactics games like Fire Emblem or XCOM, Gears Tactics looks like it will provide a similar experience. Gears Tactics comes to you from two developers, The Coalition, which took over the Gears franchise in 2015, and Splash Damage, which worked on games like Gears 5, Enemy Territory, Quake Wars, and Brink. Considering the genre, it makes sense for Gears Tactics to launch on Windows. Of course, Gears Tactics will also release on Xbox Game Pass for PC. If you already have a subscription, you should be able to jump into the action on day one. If you would rather not subscribe, you can still purchase it normally from either the Microsoft Store or from Steam. Former Coalition head Rod Ferguson promised the Xbox version will be coming later, though he neglected to provide a date. With the Xbox Series X slated for a holiday 2020 launch, it's possible Gears Tactics will release on both Xbox One and the new console. Even if the Coalition declines to release a Series X version, you will still be able to play Gears Tactics thanks to the system's backwards compatibility feature. Gears Tactics is already available for pre-order on the Steam Store and the Microsoft Store. At launch, Gears Tactics will retail for $59.99, and chances are the Xbox version of the game will sport the same price tag. If you're looking to get the most bang for your buck, joining the Xbox Game Pass for PC Beta offers the highest payout. You can join the beta by paying $1 plus taxes for your first month, with the price increasing to $4.99 plus taxes every month after that. In addition to Gears Tactics, you'll gain access to other popular titles like Gears 5, The Outer Worlds, Sea of Thieves, and Metro Exodus, making this a particularly attractive option for gamers on a budget. Gamers who want access to the Thrashball Cole character pack have two different ways to get the in-game perk. Anyone who pre-orders Gears Tactics before April 28, 2020 is automatically eligible to receive the character pack. Likewise, anyone who downloads and plays the Gears Tactics beta with an active Xbox Game Pass for PC before May 4th, 2020 will also receive the character pack. Because the game doesn't have a special edition available, this pre-order bonus seems like it may be the only way to receive special in-game items that no one else will have. According to the Steam Store, this character pack includes Augustus Cole as a recruit character, as well as a Thrashball armor set that possesses rare abilities. Besides the fact it looks cool, the reference to rare abilities hints that the Thrashball armor will give you a tactical advantage over your enemies. In a game like Gears Tactics, any advantage is worth having. Rather than frantically sprinting around the battlefield and shooting from behind cover, Gears Tactics will give you time to think through all of your actions. As the trailer says, in this war, every move matters. You'll control a squad of units and move them around the arena. More often than not, this will probably mean moving them between points of cover. The enemies move in a similar fashion, so it's up to you to come up with tactics that give you the advantage. For example, you could use one soldier as bait while the rest of your squad sneaks around cover to flank your opponent. Alternatively, you could use an arsenal of skills or gear to flush enemies out of their positions. Still, don't expect to lose that bloody action Gears is known for. You can still make your soldiers rush at the Locust, revved up Lancer at the ready. Gears Tactics will test your ability to strategize rather than your accuracy with a weapon. This isn't the type of game where the spray and pray technique will get you very far. While the Coalition has promised Gears Tactics will still contain the staple boss fights and hardcore action of any Gears game, the majority of your gameplay will focus on cultivating your tactical abilities. Your firepower will definitely make a difference in your chances of victory over the enemy, but it won't be the ultimate deciding factor. Gears Tactics will allow you to move a unit around an arena as you assess and approach your target. How you decide to defeat the enemy is up to you, though an all-out brawl likely won't give you the outcome you desire. Instead, smartly sizing up the opponent and using stealth, distractions, and your environment will help you gain victory over the Locust Horde. It's all about how you play it. To the celebration of many, Rod Ferguson confirmed some welcome news on Twitter. Gears Tactics will not have microtransactions. This extends to cosmetics as well, meaning you won't have to worry about buying character or weapon skins via an in-game marketplace. Instead, all the cosmetic customization options shown off in the trailer can be earned within Gears Tactics. It's unclear exactly how you'll earn them, but at the very least, you can rule out spending real-world money.
I see. Okay. Well, that's a relief.
Microtransactions continue to plague many modern games, making this approach a welcome breath of fresh air. With countries like the Netherlands and Belgium ruling that some loot boxes violate their gambling laws, you will likely see an increasing number of developers moving towards this model, or at least re-examining their approach to the inclusion of microtransactions. It seems the Coalition has opted to forego the headache and leave them out of Gears Tactics altogether. Fans of the Gears of War franchise have grown accustomed to the multiplayer third-person shooter games. Co-op play has long been a staple of the series, a trend that will change along with many other norms with Gears Tactics. Rod Ferguson confirmed that, in addition to having no microtransactions, Gears Tactics will lack a multiplayer mode. Ferguson, who recently left the Coalition to join the Blizzard Entertainment team, made this announcement back in December 2019. For a franchise like Gears, which normally relies on its competitive multiplayer modes, creating a solely single-player turn-based strategy game is a big leap. It's still unclear if the gamble will pay off, or if the solid Gears fanbase will simply forego playing Gears Tactics in favor of waiting for Gears 6 to launch. Gears Tactics will take place 12 years before the events of the first Gears of War game. Players will control Gabe Diaz, a soldier leading a squad against the impending threat of the rising Locust Horde. All across the planet Serra, the Locust Horde is awakening and making their way to the surface to wreak havoc on the unsuspecting civilians. Your squad's goal is to hunt down and eliminate not only the Locust Horde, but Archon, an evil genius who is responsible for making the monsters. The Coalition has promised players a story that is immersive and character-driven. Though the gameplay will be fast-paced and turn-based, the story will still flesh out the world of Gears along with the backstories of the characters in your squad. The Locust Horde will be your main enemy throughout the tale, but along the way, large-scale boss fights will break up the smaller battles, culminating in your fight against Archon. When the Coalition announced the new Gears game would not feature a competitive multiplayer mode, many wondered how much gameplay they'd get out of Gears Tactics. Luckily for those worried the game won't merit the expense, the developers have promised a campaign that will take more than 40 hours to beat. While offering a purely solo experience does take away from the replay factor a little bit, the idea of a story-rich Gears experience holds its own appeal. The Coalition likely realizes that its normal fanbase is not necessarily guaranteed to turn out for a turn-based strategy game. With this in mind, the company has created a single-player campaign that promises to not only offer more backstory on the entire Gears franchise, but provide information for the newest Gears games as well. The Gears of War games have been consistently rated M for their strong use of violence, language, and graphic images. But with Gears Tactics being a turn-based strategy game, this rating wasn't a given. After all, the very nature of a turn-based game puts some distance between the player and the action occurring. However, even though Gears Tactics will be a turn-based strategy game, developers were adamant that fans still be given the expected Gears experience.
We did the only thing we could. We set the world on fire.
Gears Tactics will be rated M for blood and gore, intense violence, and strong language. In other words, don't let the genre fool you. This game won't be like many turn-based games you've encountered. Even the distance offered by the game's genre didn't stop the developers from giving fans a required amount of graphic violence and strong language. This won't be like Final Fantasy with more guns. It'll be much more like a normal Gears title, just with a different camera perspective. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more SVG videos about your favorite games are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.